Are we actually in the Bible?
I don't know.
I thought there was a lot of theme and motif.
What's
And
the show
metaphor.
called, Jarod? What's the show called?
It's actually about the book of Genesis.
One, do the wave, do the wave, do the wave. Yeah, welcome back. Episode 6 of Pro and Noob. I got to the point and I was like, I've got to 5. Like, do I just start doing this? What happens when I get to 10? Like, do I just...
Put them dogs on screen, Mitch.
For free?
Give us them feet, Mitch.
Nah.
Give us them feet, Mitch.
Nah. Get this channel to 500 subs so I can open up the community or the membership thing and dogs for $1.
Dogs for $1.
Do you want them dirty? It's going to be 5.
Oh.
Dogs for $1. So, yeah. Talking episodes 7, 8, and 9?
Just 8 and 9.
8 and 9, yeah.
We did 7 in the last episode.
We did 7, yeah. So, yeah. Asuka Strikes.
Yeah, this was an interesting one.
Let the show begins.
It's... I hate you for that.
It's true.
There's a part of me that is sincerely angry that you didn't just have me like blast through the first chunk of the show.
No.
And then go from there. But no, I enjoyed this episode. I think Asuka is a lot, and I was like really
perfect. There's a guy in the CBC Discord, right? I'm just going to jump in here, who is another one of my Star Wars guys, right? And he's in a similar situation to you, right? He's never really watched anime. I've tried getting him to watch My Hero. He didn't like it. He's now been watching a few. Like, he loved One Piece. He ran through all of that. Like, this week, I just got him to start Neon Genesis, right? Been begging him for years. It's like, just watch it, please. And that was essentially his reaction. He's like, yeah, she's a lot. Oscar's a lot.
I had a moment where I had to try to wrap my head around my own reaction to her. Because Asuka on paper is an archetype that I like a lot.
Asuka is also the originator of that archetype.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, like I like a Vegeta, I like a Bakugo. You know, I like the hot-headed, hey asshole, I know you're new in town, but I'm the prodigy here, so sit down and get out of my way. And you know, with somebody who in my own work, on my own channel, in my own, you know, whatever, I talk a lot about the intersections of like cultural politics and pop culture analysis. It's something that I think is very fascinating, and that I think over the years has become more and more of something that is not talked about enough, at least not in the ways it should be. You know, it's why I think that fandom discussions are awful now, and that you can't go 30 seconds without somebody just shitting out of their word hole about woke.
No.
And all of that stuff. If that's something that interests you, I have a 2-parter with my dear friend and collaborator and arch enemy Alden Diaz on my channel called The Fandom Menace and How We Got Here. It's a 2-parter.
It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It is the proudest thing. They are the episodes of my own show that I am the most proud of. And I am sincerely considering doing a part 3 very soon. I just need to mentally prepare for that. Because watching The People versus George Lucas was a lot. And researching Gamergate was also a lot. But all of that to say, I had a moment where Asuka was kind of buffeting up against me, and I found her grating in many ways. And I had a moment where I was like, okay, check yourself for a moment. You love this archetype when it's dudes. Why is this different for you? And I think challenging yourself in that way is very important, even when by the time you're done, you go, no, I don't dislike this for weird gendered reasons. And I don't think that is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I like Asuka as a character. The emotional reaction she elicits from me is one of frustration. It's something that I've like had a hard time verbalizing to my girlfriend because she's showing me Bridgerton right now.
Yeah.
And at least once an episode, I remind her that I hate her favorite character.
You might be having to do that twice if you keep going the way you are.
And but what it turned into was she was like, it kind of upsets me that you keep telling me how much you hate Penelope. And I was like, well, here's the thing. Penelope, the character within the text, frustrates me. She does things that make me, the viewer, angry in the way I'm relating to the rest of the characters. I love her existence within the narrative because it is eliciting a big reaction out of me. And I think that's where I fall on Asuka. And I think that the reason I buff it up against her, but like I love a Vegeta and a Bakugo, is because there is I should have written this down because I had this really well phrased last night, kind of mulling it over.
I hate that. You plan something in your head.
With Bakugo and Vegeta, more with Bakugo, there is a sense of like, I worked too hard to get usurped by this young buck.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Asuka I feel like whether or not she ever stepped foot into an Ava, she has that sense of entitlement. That is just a character flaw she has that has only been enhanced by the important role she is playing in world events. If that makes sense.
No, I get it.
And I think that's
it's streaming that she hasn't actually been in one before, which the show doesn't make that clear.
But. Well, I just mean like she could have never been involved with the Ava project.
Okay, yeah.
She would not have to have any role in protecting Earth from the angels. She would have found something to act this way about.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And especially in such a condescending way. Again, it is great characterization. It is a great place to start to develop that character. But yeah, she's a lot. She's certainly a lot. But
fun fact, you know how a baby gains like consciousness? We talked about the baby being before.
Yeah.
That was me with this character. When I was like 13, I don't think I actually existed until that point when I saw this. I couldn't tell you why, but watching this, I was like, I'm now conscious. And have been the same way ever since.
Yeah.
She's my girl. Not in the weird, creepy way.
I know what you mean.
I'm just making it clear for other people. I'm well aware she's 14. I'm well aware. No.
So, I have a question for you that again, in a world where we're not doing the show the way we're doing it, I would have Googled for myself. The guy who voices the first mate on that UN warship.
Yeah.
That's Bo Dakuna, right?
I have no idea. It very well could be.
Okay, I'm going to Google the actor. And I didn't want to do this unless you were here to supervise me. But I want to make sure. I want to see if that was Nashir Dalal. Because it sounded just like him. And I've been replaying Jedi Survivor lately. And
who was he in I can't think of Survivor.
He was Bo Dakuna, like the
But I can't remember who that was.
Oh no, he's the guy who double crosses Cal.
Oh.
And it does look like I was right.
I say I'd be very surprised if it wasn't, because obviously this is when did they dub this? It's in the last 10 years at least. I can't remember when they got the dub for this. I want to say like 2000. Not 2000. 2020.
He also played Mysterio in Spider-Man 2.
Did he actually? I can hear and see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. They mocapped him as well.
I was going to say, does he look like him, or is it just... No.
Does he look like Bode? Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
He looks like Bode and Mysterio.
So I was thought Mysterio looked like Jimmy Kimmel, or one of those people.
But yeah, no, he shows up in a lot of stuff. He's been in a lot of Star Wars, actually. He's been in a lot of the video games. He played the evil scientist in The Bad Batch. But I recognize that voice instantly. But yeah, I saw something saying that he was an Evangelion. I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing it on IMDb. I might have just missed it. But when did you say they redubbed this?
I think like 2020. I think it might have been like 2019. It wasn't that long ago.
Okay, yeah, I just
2019 they dubbed it. Yeah.
I just found a Reddit post. We're like r/Red Dead Redemption. I just noticed Charles makes a small cameo appearance in the 7th episode or so when Asuka is introduced. He plays the Navy captain's admiral. It's the admiral, it's not the first mate. And then Nashir Dalal himself replied saying, "I love the Ava series, and my friend invited me for a small part. Cool to be there for Asuka's arrival." So there you go. So
Jedi Survivor went up in my book a little bit. So.
But yeah, no, I recognize that voice within a second. I'm like, hey, Bodakuna of fuck Bodakuna fame, to quote Eli from In a Galaxy, because he wouldn't forgive me if I didn't work that in there. But no, it was really cool. So, okay, another question for you.
And
I'm begging that you actually answer me this time.
It depends what it is. You should know it's by now. 6 weeks in, you should know by now.
NERV a government agency or a company?
You asked this question last week. I can lie to you if you want.
You don't have to lie to me. Just give me a vibes-based answer.
All right, they're a company.
Okay. Because the way they were talking, it was like I couldn't understand who was doing what and how, and I'm just getting more and more confused and hung up on that. But yeah, I also made a note. The one time I watched this with my girlfriend in the room, it goes full perv.
Yep. Which bit? The start of the episode or the plug suit part?
I believe the start of the episode where the tough guy kid sticks his head directly into the girl's dress and then goes, "Well, we'll get even," and then whips his dick out.
Yep. That tends to be how it goes. Where the bit you don't want people to see, they always see it.
Well, that was like whenever I talk all the time about how Soul Calibur 4 was my intro to fighting games. And I my Nana let me rent it from my local Family Video on the assumption that it was a fighting game that happened to have Darth Vader and Galen Merrick in it. And then I would play it and then frantically pray nobody walked into the room when one Ivy Valentine was on screen.
See, that's the difference between you and me. I had Dead or Alive 2, and I turned the age all the way up to 99. Which, if people don't know, the older the age, the more it bounced. Or they bounced. So, if anyone came in the room, it's just like, hey.
I didn't care about the bouncing mechanics. I was just terrified.
Yeah, but no shame. No shame. Absolutely no shame.
I had nothing but shame for that one. I was like, I had moments where I was like, I'd rather you see Voldo than Ivy. I'd rather them see that gimp suit than the other one. But yeah, no, I was really enjoying this episode. It had a very just very classic action movie pacing. It very much had that, okay, guys, we're here to do this one thing. And we just need to hope that this thing doesn't go wrong, because this thing that we could do to prevent it is going to be difficult for a very specific set of reasons. And without fail, angels show up. Oh shit, we can't use the Ava underwater. We're not supposed to use the Ava underwater. Well, fuck, it looks like we have to. Da 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 da. I thought that was cool.
Because it's a fun episode, and I'm not a liar. And I'm not a liar. I told you we'd get to fun.
I've been having fun.
No, but you said the other week in your little it's one of the intros. I can't remember which episode it was. It's just like, why couldn't I watch people beat each other up?
I just meant as an indictment of the show.
I know.
I feel the need to defend myself.
So here's another ruining the bit. God.
Here's another question for you. How does the kid numbering work?
What, as in who's the first, second, and third?
Because the vibe I'm getting is...
And just so we're clear, Ray's the first, Asuka's the second, Shinji's the third.
Okay.
Third.
So they are counted in order of recruitment. But the Avas start at 0. So 0 Ray.
Because... as she says in the episode, 0 is the prototype, so it's not going to be your first one. You never count, you mark 1 as your first one. Unit 1 is the test type, so it's not your first one. Unit 2 is the first full one, but it just happens to be the third one, so it's Unit 2, because we start at 0.
Which, again, that makes sense. It was just the way they were so like, I'm the second and you're the first, and you're the third and I'm the and I'm like, okay. And they're like mentioning like other like more and more numbered children that like are yet to show up. And okay, cool. Because I lost track of that for a second and I misheard somebody and I thought we were like using like Star Wars Inquisitor rules where there was like seemingly no rhyme or reason for how they get numbered.
It matches up for Asuka only.
That she's child 2 and unit 2.
Yeah. Ray's the first child, but unit 0. Shinji's third and 1.
Okay. So let me get to his name real quick.
So Asuka was always going to be like this, right? She's obviously been trained from a younger age, because 14 is not old.
So Roji?
The spy guy.
Yeah.
Koji.
Did I say Koji is his name?
I'm certain it's a K. Yeah, it's Koji. Yeah.
Oops. I must have mistyped it.
Kaji. No, his second his first name is Ryoji.
Ryoji they just address him as Ryoji the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting an I instead of a J there. Okay. Listen. We're getting started early, folks.
Excellent.
I don't fucking trust him. This man is giving Drake.
What's giving?
And not in the like, certified lover boy, certified. Not in that way, but like he's giving Drake. He's giving very big OVO fan. He's giving. If you're reading this, it's too late. Is my favorite album vibes. I do not trust this man. I did not trust this man. And then he was on the phone with Commander Fuckface.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh yeah, but what if everything goes sideways?" And he's like, "Well, just fucking leave." He's like, "Okay." Later.
Well,
I don't like him. I like him. And then I put in here. I said, where is it? Where is it? Oh shit. I think I said, oh yeah, I knew this was coming. Fuck boy is in on it.
Is it?
And yes, oh my God, there is he shot so far up my shit list, Mitch. I was like, it was a number one debut. Like, I was so impressed with him for how much I hate this bitch already. Because I was like, okay, so like, you're a fuckboy, you're a man of ill repute. Okay, whatever. And then he's on the phone with Commander Ikari, and I'm like, oh, you sneaky little fuck. And then we'll talk about what I know.
Why he's on there.
I lost my mind over.
Yes. Indeed. I have waited so long.
See, you had your chance for a Star Wars reference there. He could have hit like the "Long have I waited."
I'm not a Star Wars guy. It wouldn't have worked. No, I can't pick him out that quick.
No. Asuka, you talk a big game for somebody who had so much friendly fire. Girl is stepping on shit left and right.
What do you expect her to do? She can't fight in the water. They're on boats. They're on boats. Like, yes, sure, they're not exactly that far off of a ground, off of the surface, because it's all a flooded city. But
which was really nice set dressing, by the way. The underwater city fight, very, very visually appealing. I like that.
It's almost like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, I know. It's
big
almost
explosion
like,
in the Arctic.
Sure, that's what it was.
Melted ice caps. But no, you cut some slack. Cut the girl some slack.
I'll cut her a little bit of slack. I'll cut her a little bit of slack in the ocean fight. Her opening move in the second episode we watched to do like a front handspring onto a fucking building.
Is it a building or is it like an armory?
Okay, if it's an armory, that's even worse somehow, tactically.
Is it?
Yes.
I actually have no idea.
Okay, Nerve is so scrapped for cash. Nerve is so
there's a reason why.
Cash. And here comes this erratic little fucker doing cartwheels onto buildings that will have to be paid for by Nerve, that, if you're right, Mitch, was filled with resources and equipment.
Did the building break?
Yes.
Did it collapse?
A robot stepped on it.
Did it collapse?
She took a chunk out of it. You watch it kind of go in on itself.
I mean,
I'm sure it's not standing for much longer. And they didn't even succeed in taking out the little duplicating angel either. So I'm sure the angel took it out anyway.
Look. It's her first fight in Japan. Cut Miguel some slack.
I would cut her some slack if she didn't talk.
Where's this for Shinji?
You mean the guy who's been begging not to be a part of this?
I mean, he carries on doing it, right?
Yeah, but at no point did
Asuka hasn't had, who says Asuka had a choice?
At no point has Shinji gone, shut up, Misato. I'm such a damn good pilot. I'm so dependable. I'm so good at my job. At no point has Shinji done that.
What if he does?
If he does, he will get the same smoke.
You better. You better.
He will. He will.
Yeah.
Ava in a cape goes hard. I know it was just the tarp, and I know it came off immediately.
Yeah.
But the like wraparound cloak of the
little
tarp,
Batman, just like I love that shot.
That shit was tough.
Why Unit 2 is the best one. It looks the best. It has a cape in its introduction.
I want to disagree with you, but not only all of that and the cape, it also had a sword.
I mean, it's technically like a crafting knife, right? But
was it? It looked longer for me.
I mean, shots. In comparison, for you, it would be a lot longer. Do you ever got a hobby knife and just extend it outwards? That's essentially the same thing.
Okay. Oh, still. Cool. And she has and she has the spear later. So here is where I start to go, okay, let's try to figure this out. The Angels continue to have incredible fucking intel. Or they are inherently drawn to something. Now, again,
which one do you think it is now?
Because I'm writing these notes as I'm watching the episode, you can kind of experience me changing my mind as I write it.
Good.
Because I at first say, how do the Angels have such good intel? Question mark, question mark, question mark. They knew it was coming. The fuckboy is in on it. And then with a space between each letter, false flag. And then I end that episode's notes with, are the Angels being drawn out by this weird organic matter? So again, this brings me back to
define weird organic matter.
That atom shit, Mitch.
Oh.
So I sit here and I go, okay. Perhaps the Angels are attacking Nerve because they are messing with this weird, again, organic matter of the first human.
It has a name.
Yeah, I know. Adam. I'm trying to figure out how literal we're being here, Mitch.
What?
But
go ahead, go.
Again. What is kind of trying to square here, and I'm a sleepy boy, so this might get really nonsensical here in a minute. Nerve is experimenting with matter like this. Now, it sounds like this is so one of the other things I can't tell that, again, I'm hoping you will indulge me by throwing me a fucking bone here for a minute. Is this the first of such samples Nerve has been able to acquire? Or is this the original version of samples similar to this? Does my question make sense?
It makes sense, yeah. I'm trying to think if I answer it outright or if we go back to what we did last week.
I have my dice ready if you're going to do this to me.
I'm debating. And I know I got to debate quicker. Roll for it. So you can get a 15 again. You can roll for it.
We're going for a 15?
Yeah, 15 might just be the standard one.
I also do have my Ionized Bastard stat sheet next to me because you recorded
very
the
nice.
other night.
Very nice.
So I'm just going to double check. Yeah, I do get +2 to insight. I was right.
What's the roll, Jarod?
I just rolled a nat 20, Mitch.
Well,
tell me what happens in this whole fucking show.
Oh, we'll be here for so long, Jarod.
I know.
We'll be here for so long. It's so long.
But is this the first of this thing they've gotten, or is this the thing that came first in a line of things they've already been studying? Is my question.
The first one.
What?
The first one. What was the first thing you said? Like the first option you said?
The first option was this is the first sample they've gotten their hands on.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have not had anything. They have not had a version of this until right now.
No.
Okay. So, okay.
How much does that change?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a moment there, I was like, he's like, okay, we've been studying this genre of organism for a long time, but now we have the original version of it. And we're celebrating having like for lack of a better term, the prototype of whatever this matter is.
Yeah.
But we've had it. And if that was the case, I was like, oh, that's why the angels are attacking. They can sense whatever this shit is and why the angels are consistently going after Nerve. If this is the first thing they've gotten their hands on, clearly they've been studying it in theory because of how much they risk to get it. But the angels clearly, there's something about Nerve that is drawing out the angels. Maybe this atom matter is
What would you think it is if it's not a literal thing, that it isn't just Adam? What are you thinking it could be?
Hold on.
Are we back in the Mind Palace?
Hold on.
Are we back in the Mind Palace?
Mitch, how literally are we speaking when we say that this is the cellular material from the biblical Adam?
I mean, how much do you want to know? Do you want to know today, or do you want to know in a few weeks' time?
Don't tell me. Because you kind of just told me.
Did I?
I feel like you did.
Did I?
Okay.
If I come out here and say,
hold on, no.
define.
Are we actually in the Bible?
I don't know.
I thought there was a lot of theme and motif.
What's the show called, Jarod? What's the show called?
It's actually about the book of Genesis.
Is it?
I think I need to start reading the Bible. Mitch, you're making me get into religion to try to outsmart the show. Because
that is not my doing. That is a you doing.
Because I find it fascinating. I know a lot about it, the symbolism. Oh my god! Okay. It's actually Adam. Whoa. I got nothing. I might be throwing in the white flag for this week.
No, you got another episode to cover, yeah.
I just mean on me trying to theorize about this.
You can't stop now, Jarod. Give the man his intro. Come on now.
I have reached the point where I might have to just start from the ground up.
Do you?
Because if this is the literal biblical Adam, we have fully left the realm of what I was fucking prepared for.
I told you several times doing this over the weeks that this show is not what you think it's going to be. It's not going to go the way you think. And I will stand by that.
I love how you, again, it's like I cannot do any RPG with Michael McCoy and this show at the same time. Because my whole life is defined by the words you won't know what hit you.
And you won't.
And I won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Here's a question for you.
Okay, ask your
since you're very now convinced that it's the actual biblical Adam, and man's gonna lose a rib or some shit, and like get cucked by Satan twice. If it's not the
cooked by Satan twice,
that's racist. That's just come on now, come on.
White on white violence.
It is, yeah. We used to own you, like, remember that?
Christ.
He's in the show.
Yeah, clearly.
If it's not that, where would you land on the show? Do you think you've just set yourself up? Or do you think...
No, I don't. Shit? I would like to think that I'm not. Again, I take very seriously as somebody who finds a lot of joy and excitement of trying to predict the week-to-week machinations of a show. Like, and we're going to date this a little bit because we have recorded 2 episodes this week effectively. So by the time you guys have seen this, like, it'll already be July. We're recording this on
27th of June. Or the 26th for the people in the past.
Yeah, 26th for me. It's the 26th for me. My cat is losing his shit outside the door.
Maybe Adam's outside your door.
Maybe Richard is trying to get me back on the right track. Richard has seen Evangelion, I think. No, I try really hard, and I think I've said this before, to avoid like letting my expectations and my predictions coagulate with what I think is the best choice narratively. Because I think a lot of people make the mistake of conflating those two things.
100%.
And it leads to a lot of bad media criticism. Like, again, the reason I bring up the date, we just watched, like, the 5th episode of The Acolyte just came out yesterday. And
Which I have not seen.
And I'm not going to spoil anything for you or the viewer.
Good.
But, you know, there were predictions that were made about the show that, you know, officially had an answer last night. What I've seen a lot of people doing is grading the reveal and the moment and the episode not against the story the show is trying to tell and not against trying to understand the craft, but by grading it against a rubric fully based on their thoughts and predictions leading up to it. And I don't think
it's the WandaVision problem.
It's the WandaVision problem. It's the Last Jedi problem.
Yeah.
That we have a tendency to grade these things against what we wanted and not against the task at hand. It is very much, you know, it is very much punishing a squirrel for its inability to swim, and punishing a fish for its inability to climb a tree.
You said squirrel really funny there.
Squirrel.
Like you're skipping like half the fucking letters.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
See,
are you part German?
It's Bachmann.
I mean, because I don't fucking know German.
No, it's funny though, because you make fun of me for squirrel, but everybody else I know makes fun of me because I pronounce every single letter in the word uncomfortable.
Dude.
Yeah. I didn't realize I did that until someone pointed it out to me. That uncomfortable as like every single letter.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I just don't pronounce T's.
Yeah, that's
got that English glottal stop.
But no, so would I dislike the show more if it turns out it is or isn't the biblical Adam that's somehow playing a role in this very weird post-apocalyptic sci-fi narrative? No, I don't think that is a choice I can punish the show for lack of a better term. It will be about execution. And knowing how much show I have left, considering that it is still fairly early that they've introduced this concept, yes. If it was an 11th hour reveal that the angels are descended from God's first creation, that the angels are, and by extension the Avas probably are descendants of the Judeo-Christian God's first creations, and that's again like end game reveal, that's fucking weird. And a lot to fucking process at the end. But I don't think it's damning necessarily.
Good.
Good. No, and again, it's something I try really hard to do. You know, it's just me trying to like shepherd the kinds of conversations I wish we were having more. But no, so if I am to map out the possible outcomes my brain has bouncing around right now, this matter is some type of genetic material of the biblical Adam and something that Nerve has been seeking out. Something that Nerve clearly has a familiarity with, and its familiarity has almost certainly informed the creation of both the Avas and the angels, meaning that the very, very literal name for these beasts means that they are in some way a product of intervention with the divine, human intervention with the divine, which is batshit insane. What a pitch. The other one I have bouncing around my head is that this is a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal, and that we're going to get a very Tony Stark magic of science we don't understand yet type thing, and we might find out that there is something, for lack of a better term, extraterrestrial about the origins of the fucking Bible. And that, yes, this is Adam, in air quotes, but this was not the creation of God. This was something that we didn't understand, that we religified because of our lack of understanding. But again, it comes like all roads lead back to this matter is related to the angels and the Avas, and that one begat the other. Bible language. So yeah, that's like kind of the primary. It's kind of like the binary I'm in right now and trying to wrap my head around. Yeah. And I just want to say, I was really proud, no matter how wrong I may or may not end up being, of a couple weeks ago when I very confidently was like, it's about creation and sending your creation to death. And this is man playing God and the ramifications that if you want to take the seed of God, that you must then, live with the consequences of the divine. And, that whole nervous breakdown, it might have to all go out the window.
Will it?
We'll see.
We will.
I'm reaching a point of nihilism with this show. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. I am oscillating between wide-eyed excitement and the kind of nihilism that we saw from DJ in The Last Jedi. And that, murder and bastard, you killed us all. And there's like, or whatever the fuck Finn and Rose say to DJ, where he just kind of turns around and goes, maybe. That's where I'm at. I am oscillating between like a gleeful Pepe Sylvia and maybe. That's all I got.
You're on the right track, yeah. You get
emotionally or like my ideas?
You get the attention.
One moment.
Oh.
And
Jarod.
Sorry. No, Taylor was telling me she's going to be home with groceries and that she'll need help. And I was like, okay, I'm wrapping up Noob right now.
We're not wrapping up here forever. I need to know now exactly where you think this show is going to go to episode by episode.
What do you mean?
Well, how else do I say that more simply?
I don't know.
Episode 10, you got from 10, and I've been lying. There's 26 episodes.
Mitch, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the next episode, let alone the 26th.
Good.
I'm going off the vibes. My brain
running on sheer vibes.
As a TV show I know you love once said, my mind is a sunless place. That's from Andor.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just to real quick marathon through episode 9. Not again. This episode was really fucking good. I want to emphasize that. I don't have as much to say about this episode. Development, that simplism, that simplisticness is not simplicity. Jesus fucking Christ, Jarod. Look at professional talker over here. And my mastery of the English language. No, the simplicity of it, that's not a dig. It just is.
No, it's a simple episode. Yeah. It serves as a pure purpose to give Asuka a bit of development and show the dynamic in how she's going to work with everyone and how she's going to bounce off of everyone.
Yeah, and it starts to really set up her relationship with Shinji. I love it. I love the episode. I don't have as many notes.
It's fair. I put these two together for kind of that exact reason because I knew exactly.
Yeah, like the first episode is more
timestamp. I couldn't, but I could tell you the timestamp of the exact moment I knew.
But no, it was really good. I like the setup for the first round with the Angel. I love Asuka's spear. It was just a really cool choice of a weapon. Shinji trying to kiss her while she was not really sleepwalking and shit was weird, and she's equally weird for pretending to be asleep.
This is parental issues.
Okay.
The kids need therapy.
Oh, speaking of parental issues.
Which one?
I'm going to be horny on Maine for a second.
Oh, damn, we finally got him.
Based elevator scene. Just putting that out there. But I did have a great Star Wars parallel moment where like Asuka's freaking out, like, this is impossible, freaking out, and then Rey's like, okay, watch this. Like, I can barely move without rupturing an artery, but watch me play Twister with Shinji. Or like Dance Twister Revolution with Shinji.
I always wanted that game. I know it never existed, but I always wanted it. I was like, that looks fun.
I, as a child, would have hurt myself. As an adult, I think I'd kick ass. As a child, I would have died. But just the way it's framed with that, like, and then here comes Ray, just like, no, like, you have to meet that with that, like, you have to meet him halfway moment.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to pick up the pace to meet you, but you need to slow down so he can.
It's like Fusion in Dragon Ball.
It's like Fusion in Dragon Ball, but the way that it's paced and the way that it's framed felt so much like Luke and Yoda on Dagobah.
I get it. Yeah.
Like I had like, again, I'm trying to not like every single episode make a Star Wars comparison.
You're a Star Wars guy.
But I'm a Star Wars guy and I could teach it like a fucking religion class. But I did love that moment where it's like, no, it's impossible. That very much felt like the moment where Yoda was like, okay, sit down, watch this, and lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp. And like I could like on Asuka's face when she watches Rey do what she could not. I could hear Yoda, or I could hear Luke and Yoda with like, it's impossible. That is why you fail. You think it's impossible. That is why you fail. I could feel that moment, and that like invigorated me so much that I was like, yeah, I love shit like this. Excellent. Indomitable human spirit, truth in yourself. Oh, that sounded way too much like an Alex rant. Okay, we need to wrap this up. Holy shit. Indomitable human spirit, believe in yourself.
This is also the episode where the X-Men kick us from.
Well, what?
The X-Men kick. You know what Rogue does in 97? Everyone's like, oh my God, it's a Street Fighter and Capcom.
Well, she throws that wild hook kick.
I
dig it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this episode was really good. Ryoji, I don't trust you. You're not.
I can say you are right not to trust him.
I mean, he can get it, but I don't trust it. I don't trust the name. I don't trust a bitch named Ryoji.
Wow, that's kind of racist. You give me the reaction about the English owning the Americans earlier, then you come out with that, Jarod.
I don't trust this bitch named this. I said it on For the Republic last week. I said, I hate a bitch named Markion Rowe.
You're racist in more places than here. That's not helping you.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, Mitch. I didn't say I hate I didn't say I hate a bitch who happens to be an Everenny.
You just did.
I said I hate a bitch named Markion Rowe. Because I don't trust a bitch named Koji. I forgot Ryoji. I forgot to say his fucking name because of you.
I don't know why you're blaming me.
Because you are the source of all of my misery. You, Eli.
Don't put me in the same league as Eli.
I've realized that if I had a Sinister Six, it's Alden, Scotty, Michael, you, Eli. Trying to think of the sixth one. And Doomcock. No, that's not fair.
No, that's not fair.
That's like
bad enough that I'm being put here as it is.
Because that's the friends who love to torture Jarod, and then there's like people I actually vehemently dislike.
What about this is torture?
Be sure to tune in next week, guys, for the next episode of Pro and Noob Podcast as I descend further into madness. Do the ending then, Mitch.
No, I'm going to leave it as that.
Well, bye. You can me over at the Nerd Academy Podcast and on actual plug though, real quick.
I thought you were going to say and on Uwu. Then I was about to be really excited, but
no.
Drop an Uwu, Jarod.
No. Yo, you guys will get Uwus the second you also get to see Mitch's fucking dirty ass feet. And I know I said it.
Why did they die?
Because you said that earlier.
No, I said they could be day.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
so obviously they'll want it. No, by the time you're seeing this, either just the penultimate episode of season 2 of Ionized Bastards will be out, and if recording schedules line up next week, the Friday you are watching this, season 2 of Ionized Bastards will have come to an end. So be sure to watch Ionized Bastards and get caught up on that. While I think we're going to take like a mini hiatus, not like a long one like before, just long enough to reset and then go from there. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, go follow Jarod. Like, comment, subscribe on the channel, as always. And we'll see you next week for... I'm going to cut half of this bit out because it's just dead air. Is it just 1 or 2? It's 2 again. We have another back-to-back. Yes.
I love a double header. Hell yeah. Well, we'll see you guys for that.
So bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching or listening. You know, whatever flavor you prefer. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the good stuff so you don't miss an episode. And of course, leave a comment. You know, tell us what you thought about this episode of Neon Genesis. You know, if you watched it before or you haven't, I generally love to hear what people think about this show. If you're following along with us, that's great. If not, and you watched it before, you know, tell us what you think about this one specific episode in particular, because we are trying to keep Jarod spoiler free as much as possible. And yeah, you know, any help is greatly appreciated for this little channel project we're working on here. You know, trying to build this up. And of course, we can't do that without you guys. So yeah, any help is greatly appreciated. And we'll catch you all for the next one. So take care.